Speaking of diversification, we're also diversified geographically. The main office is in California. We have a store in New York City, a gallery in the art section that's been there since 1953, the longest established rare coin gallery in the world at 123 West 57th Street, which my son Andrew is involved in, and also a very nice staff with other people. So people can come in and they have everything from off the street Lincoln quote pennies, end of quote, to $4 gold Stellas, and they get treated cordially, and we explain whatever they want. We have an office in Wolfboro, New Hampshire, where we do research and technical cataloging, which I help with, and Chris Carstedt helps with, and Jennifer Mears helps with. I have to mention Melissa Carstedt, who grew up in Wolfboro in the office. She has been a licensed auctioneer. She auctions on behalf of the American Numismatic Society in New York City. At their annual gala, they ask her to come to New York and auction for their fundraising thing because she's such a great auctioneer. She's auctioneered in Hong Kong, so I'm very proud of her. We have an office in Paris, France. We have one in Hong Kong, as I just mentioned. We have the main one in California. We also have a presence at virtually maybe every leading convention. I myself make it a point to go to the ANA, to the 3 Whitman Coin and Collectibles Expos held in Baltimore, and also occasionally to the Florida United Numismatists Show, and occasional others. For example, I was the keynote speaker at a convention for the New England Numismatic Society a couple of years ago. I give a lot of speeches. I've probably given 500 talks in my life, at least several hundred. I had recently an interesting situation on behalf of the ANA where they said, will you give a written talk so we can pass it out in advance? So I actually wrote up my first written speech, but I couldn't really I couldn't read a speech. I'm very impromptu. So when I gave the talk, I said, well, you have the written speech you can read afterwards. This is impromptu, and I got a lot of applause. Popularity varies. If you're a newcomer to coins and you're interested in price and grade only, or gold, then you might head for modern gold eagles or whatever. They don't have necessarily too much sustaining power, but if you're only interested in silver and gold, you're interested in those. You might be interested in modern commemoratives. I myself like modern coins. I have a collection. Some years ago, the Whitman Publishing Company asked me to write a guidebook of modern dollar-sized coins from Eisenhower in 1971 up to the present Sacagawea and related Native American coins. So I set about forming a collection of these, one of each date and mint mark from 1971 up to date, in MS-65, more or less. I think buying something like MS-69 for a modern coin at a high price is not a good expenditure of money, but people do it. And the entire collection costs less than $1,000, and it's very interesting. If I took that collection, or someone took a collection like that and read about each design, each Native American design, they could have a lot of fun for less than $1,000. On the other hand, someone might come in and they have, like, I want to collect, we had a client, for example, who collects rarities, has patterns, and the other day bought a superb gem 1879 flowing hair Stella, one of the nicest in existence, and a very handsome 6-figure price. So if you can afford it, you can buy a 1804 dollar, 1913 nickel. We've had all of these things over a period of time. But if you can't afford it, you can have a very nice collection of colonial coins, for example, the state coins of Connecticut or Vermont. I personally love tokens. I'm very involved in Civil War tokens. And if you mention, what about Civil War tokens? They sound sort of obscure. What about investment? Well, my main credo is investment comes naturally if you collect carefully. I was looking at one of my price lists from 1959, where I offered 100 different uncirculated Civil War tokens for less than $100, less than $1 each. If someone had spent $10,000 with me in 1959, they'd have Civil War tokens worth more than $1 million today. And that's That would not be matched if you bought double eagles or anything else. And considering collecting, I think the state quarters, which you can collect out of circulation, and the American the Beautiful quarters are very nice. I have a set of them. You can also collect obsolete paper money, banknotes of the early 1800s. You can get rare notes for, even unique notes for a few $100s each. So the thing to do is to buy some interesting books, read the books like the 100 greatest American currency notes, the 100 greatest metals and tokens, 100 greatest US coins, which is mostly rarities. But Whitman Publishing since 2003 has put out over 300 different titles in edition. But one strange thing, it's very easy to get someone to spend $1,400 for a worn common date double eagle, but if you say spend $1,400 on a nice reference collection of readable books, they won't do it. But the challenge is to build a working library and to read. You can learn more by reading than anything else. Also, by reading Coin World, the sponsor of this video, you know, I read every issue, and I actually have had a column in every issue since 1961, which is a world's record. And every week I get a lot of mail from Coin World readers all over the world, and they keep changing. But every once in a while, someone will say, gosh, I've been reading Coin World since 1961, and may Coin World flourish. Well, we try to outshine the others, and we're successful in most instances. Strong competition is very desirable. We appreciate and honor our competitors, and it's a very friendly competition. If coin auction house A has a problem with credit or something, we're happy to provide a reference, and we work with them, but we do think that we do work the hardest and deliver the best results, and have for a long time. As far as competition goes, I would rather be one of, let's say, 10 leading auction firms around the world than be the only one. A good analogy has to do with Morgan silver dollars. There are many, many books on Morgan silver dollars. I've written some for Whitman. If I write a book on Morgan silver dollars, it will sell much more than if I write one on streetcar tokens, even though mine might be the only one. So I appreciate being part of a very dynamic dealer community, not only other auction houses, but other dealers who often give us consignments and buy from us, as do the other auction houses. And it's a very nice community.